All right. Welcome everyone here to our brand new masterclass talking about the one feeling that is going to rekindle a lost relationship or a relationship that may be on the verge of divorce or separation, right? And we have something really special here today. I have an amazing illustrator. Matt is going to be joining us, and he is going to be doing some live illustrations to do something we've never done before, and it's going to be super fun. So as always, I want to make this a dialogue, not just a monologue. So let me know in the chat what questions you have, what aha moments you have, what really stands out to you, okay? So if you are wanting to rekindle feelings in your marriage, then I want you to really listen closely here, okay? What I'm going to share with you could be the most important thing that you will ever hear, especially for your marriage right now. And we're going to talk about one emotion that's deep within your spouse's neurology, deep within their brain and their psychology. And it is so powerful, so driving, and so all-consuming that it can get your spouse to come running back to you. Now, I see some familiar faces here and also some new friends, so welcome. And I want to just introduce myself a little bit. My name is Heather Choate, and I'm going to help show you how to activate that one emotion in your spouse so they will want to engage in the marriage again. They will naturally feel that spark of romance, that spark of intimacy and passion again, and they will only want to be with you for life. So think about like a magnet, and you two are going to be drawn back together. Right now, you may be feeling like a magnet that's repelling each other, kind of like the ends are facing the wrong direction, and you've got that force and everything's kind of pulling apart right now. We want to get that magnet turned around the right direction so you guys are drawn back together. So let me know in the chat, raise your hand. I love to see your comments and hear what's going on for you. Who here would love that? Who here would love to feel like you are a magnet that is being drawn back together? Yeah, I see some hand raised. Absolutely. I want that for life, right? You know, that head over heels kind of feeling when you're just dating and you're first falling in love and you just feel like everything is so natural and just falls into place. That is what we're going to be talking about today. But before I reveal what that one essential emotion is, I want you to stop whatever you're doing right now, if possible, right? And pay close attention. All right. Put out all distractions. If you can, give this your attention because you're here. That says something really special about you, that you want to have that magnetic attraction that we're talking about. You are committed to your relationship. And so the more attention and focus you can give this right now, the more you're going to get out of this experience, okay? And I also want to do a bit of a disclaimer here, okay? I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to keep this video online, all right? We're doing it live together, and then I'm going to post it online. And what I'm going to share with you is really, truly so impactful. I want to make sure that you only use it for the right reasons and never to harm, to coerce, or to try to manipulate your spouse, okay? So if you are wanting to get this person back because you love them deeply, you want them to be happy, you want to heal unhealthy relationship patterns and habits. You guys know we talk a lot about those here at High Thrive Coaching, right? Some of these habits and patterns that you may have fallen into, and you are so deeply committed to having a healthy and beautiful marriage for life. So if that's not you, then please don't watch anymore, okay? If these strategies get into the wrong hands, it actually could do a lot of damage. And they're not meant to mend a relationship with any form of physical or sexual abuse. So they are not meant to get people back with someone that may hurt them again, or if it's a truly unhealthy situation. That would be like sending them back into the lion's den, right? So they should not be used to coerce anyone or to manipulate out of selfish reasons. So my friends, I know a lot of you, I see a lot of familiar faces. I don't know everyone here though. So I want you to be really mindful with how you use the information I'm going to share today. Only you can decide if this person is right for you or not. And you know your marriage and your relationship better than anyone. So I have to trust that you're going to use this information to get back the love of your life and know that it is the right thing. I truly care about you, and I don't want you to hurt yourself or anyone else. Okay. So this is meant for honest people who will use these techniques for good. But if I see or hear that they're being used for harm in any way, then I'm going to remove it. I will delete the replay, even if it means that honest couples aren't able to get the solutions I'm about to share with you. Okay. So they are meant to draw your spouse back to you, so they naturally want to be with you in the healthiest, most beautiful, and lasting way. Does that sound good? Does that sound fair? Any questions at this point? Let me know. Put it in the chat. I've got our coach Curtis here to help with the chat, and Diego, and they're here to answer any questions that you might have. Okay. All right. So as you start to apply some of the things I'm going to share with you, you're going to be amazed at how calm and how confident and in control you feel about getting your spouse back in love with you. Quick question, you guys. How are you feeling right now about getting your spouse back in love with you? Does it feel overwhelming? Does it feel daunting? Does it feel impossible? Does it feel frustrating? Does it feel like one step forward, two steps back? Let me know in the chat. How have you felt about this process right now? Do you feel hopeless? Do you feel helpless? Like your spouse has all the cards right now? I hear a lot of you guys sharing that with me, right? It feels like they're calling all the shots and there's not much I can do. Everyone's telling me I should move on. Yeah, you're saying it's super overwhelming and impossible. One step forward, 200 steps back. Definitely like he has all the cards. It does feel impossible. Yeah, let me know. Daunting, hopeless, overwhelming. All right. Thank you guys for sharing that with me. It feels like a very slow process to reconnect. It's been almost 1 year of separation. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that with me. All right. So how good would it feel to shift out of the place that you are in right now? You know, maybe even after a year, you don't know anymore. I'm seeing that in the chat as well. So how good would it shift? How good would it feel to shift where you are right now into a place of calmness, a place of confidence, and a place of in control about how you feel about this process, right? You guys have heard me say it before. I'm going to say it every single day of my entire life. Challenges always come to us. It's what we choose to do about them. And so this may be one of the worst hellish challenges of your life, but it is coming to you for a reason. There is something that life wants you to learn from this process, if you choose to learn from it and grow and become a better person. And it is all about understanding our locus of control. Okay. So you will notice that as you do this, you will feel more calm, you will feel more confident, and that will be a major shift for you. You will also notice how your spouse will change their interactions with you. We're talking like flipping a switch, like flipping a light switch, right? One moment it's dark and gloomy and feels hopeless and confusing and hard, and you don't know what to do. And it feels like one step forward, 200 steps back. And then the light switches and you start to see that light, and you start to see and feel the hope and the possibility that is there for you. And you'll notice that this works even if they've said, I'm done, I don't want to talk with you, it's over. So I want you to imagine here, my friends, how your heart will race when you see them text those 3 hearting words, I miss you. How would that feel to have your spouse text you those words, I miss you? And imagine how happy and safe you will feel as they come back home, as they wrap their arms around you and they say, I'm sorry, I want you back. And as you're holding each other, you breathe in their familiar scent, and you know in your heart and your soul that everything is going to be okay. Imagine how restful you will sleep without that, knot of anxiety that may be in your stomach, the heavy burden you feel on your shoulders or pressing down on your chest, making it so hard to breathe. Imagine feeling all of that relief and that gone. And you know in your heart and your soul that everything's going to be okay. And you wake up feeling whole and complete again. I talk to so many of you. I know how hard it is to sleep. I know how hard it is to focus on work. I've been there myself. I know how hard it is to talk to your children and to see them dealing with these challenging situations as well. Yeah, Alyssa says, this is a dream, I believe, more than a reality. Okay. Yeah, Brandon, I haven't heard that in so long. That would be amazing. Nicole says, amazing. Yes, it would. So imagine the look on your children's faces. You know, how many parents are here? Raise your hand. Yep, I'm a parent. You guys know that. 8 kids, been married 16 years, right? Yep. And when Ben and I are struggling, my kids always notice it and it always affects them. And so imagine the look on your precious children's faces and how easy and light things feel in your home now. Imagine a feeling of peace and calmness. Maybe still some toddlers screaming in the background, but an inner sense of peace and calmness that you know that everything's going to be okay. And imagine the security and peace you will feel knowing that your relationship is more connected, more unified, more secure, more healthy and loving than it ever was before. Okay? Imagine how amazing that will be. Kids would love it, I'm hearing. Yeah. I've been up for over 24 hours currently. Yeah, that's exhausting. And so we want to create that not just as a dream, but as a reality, Alyssa, and not just as victims to the circumstance, but as a true creator. So I have a free analysis tool that I want you to go ahead and grab real quick. I'm going to put it in the chat. This is my gift to you, and it's going to ask some clarifying questions so that you can see if it's possible to save your marriage right now and get your spouse back. It's kind of our first initial assessment tool to determine how much communication you currently have, how many in-person conversations are you able to have, and assess the level of connection that may be there. Okay. And based on your answers, we will help you see what the next best step is. So go ahead and grab that over in the chat. It's just a quick little form you can fill out and you can find out if it's possible to save your marriage. All right. Thank you. Andre, I have hope, but I know now if my wife, but I don't know now if my wife does, trying to show her I've changed, but I can't control what she thinks or feels. That is so true, Andre. So thank you for sharing. And we are definitely going to address that. So my friends, all of us here are here because we've had some marriage struggles, are going through some marriage struggles right now. We're not alone. And I want you to know that if your marriage is on the fritz, right? If they're saying, I love you, but I'm not in love with you, I want out, that it's not your fault, that you haven't been able to do it on your own. And I want to go into a little bit of the biology here of what happens when we experience some trauma. So there's a biological reason why things are where they are right now and why you said you're feeling all of that hopelessness, that overwhelm, that stress, okay? So during and after a fight or your spouse leaving or saying, I want a divorce or I love you, but I'm not in love with you, or finding out that they're having an affair, there is a heightened emotional state where your body responds to the rejection and tension as if it were an actual physical trauma or threat, okay? And what happens neurologically is that your brain starts pumping out massive amounts of cortisol, epinephrine, and other stress hormones, including adrenaline. Your brain and your body, right, were designed to do this to help us from dangerous situations. It's like an evolutionary mechanism. So even though in this case, there isn't a physical danger, your body actually doesn't know the difference. It still responds as if a lion were chasing after you, okay? And what happens here is that the reasoning part of our brain is almost completely turned off and we go into fight, flight, or freeze mode, okay? And this really clouds our thinking and causes us to react out of instinct. We become a lot more like animal brain than like a higher reasoning part of ourselves, right? And so we do not make logical decisions when we are in this state. So emotionally, you cannot help but get into fear. So a lot of you talked about being in that fear and that stress and that overwhelm. And emotionally and biologically, you actually don't really have any other choice at this point, okay? And what happens is then we start acting from this place, right? And we react in often low value ways that only end up pushing our spouse away even further. And this whole process can lead to some pretty intense emotional distress and even physical pain. I'm sure you guys understand and know what I am talking about, right? And you have so much stress, you cannot sleep, and sometimes you even get sick and your body reacts to what is happening to you emotionally. So my friends, if we rely on our instincts in this state right now, there is no way we can expect to be in a clear-headed way that's going to draw them back to you. And that is truly where most people fail to ever salvage their marriage. And more couples are ending up getting divorced. But the good news is that you do not have to do it alone. And of course, risk losing them forever. And that's what we do. And that's the process that we share with you. So we've created a scientifically proven 4-step process that's going to take you from where you are right now, point A, right? Broken, unhappy, distrustful, distant, to point B, where you're back together with your spouse, where you're crazy in love. And I'm talking about crazy in love actually more than ever before. And you learn how to stop unintentionally pushing them away and how to pull them back to you naturally and effortlessly. So like I said, most people get this completely wrong, and most people stay in animal brain and they stay in emotional distress and they react out of instinct. And they don't know that there's another way of doing this. There's another way of doing life. And our society is not teaching us that. It is not modeling that to us. And so most people do not learn this, and therefore they do not get their spouse back. But for those that do learn it, it's like once you flip this emotional switch that I'm about to tell you about, then they are actually the one that's going to have uncontrollable desire to be with you, okay? And so like I mentioned, I'm Heather Choate, and for the past 6.5 years here at High Thrive Coaching with my co-founder, Marc Johnston, we have helped over 12,000 couples learn how to attract back and keep the wife or the husband of their dreams. So many of you have come to me, you're heartbroken and aching, saying, I still love this person. Is that you? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. I love this person. Everyone else is telling me to give up. They're telling me to move on. But I do not want to give up on my marriage. My family means everything to me. And so if something inside of your heart and your soul is telling you, I need to do this. I need to know I gave my marriage everything I could. I want to live with peace of mind, and I want to have no regrets. If you want to be one of the ones that is unwilling to be the majority that ends up getting divorced, then this is for you. Okay? Yes. Me, everyone's saying to move on. Even people in the group where I post. Yeah, absolutely me. John says, thank you. I have hope. I've heard this so many times. I am more in love with my wife today than I think I ever was. Love that. Thank you. I see some familiar faces. It's good to have you guys on. So at the beginning of the masterclass today, I told you that there's one emotion that's so powerful, so all-consuming, it will cause your spouse to come running back to you, no matter how convinced you or they are that it is over. All right, I want to know, can you guys guess what it is? Comment in the chat, let me know. What do you think this all-consuming emotion is that is so powerful that will cause your spouse to come running back to you? Let me see your answers in the chat. Don't be afraid. Go ahead and take a stab at it. It's one emotion. Let's see if you guys can get it. Infatuation. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate your bravery. Trust. Let's see. Anyone else want to take a stab at it? Compassion. Awesome. Empathy. Thank you. Let's see if we get any more. Guys, put your answers over there. What do you guys think it is? Okay. Acceptance, love, no. All right. I'm not seeing it there. All right. You guys ready? Prepared to get your mind blown? Okay. It's not love. It's not empathy. It's not acceptance. It's not compassion. It's not trust. It's not infatuation. All of those things are good and beautiful, but this one emotion that is so powerful and so all-consuming that's going to cause your spouse to come running back to you, no matter how convinced you or they are that it is over, is desire. Desire. Some people call desire the spark. Others refer to it as chemistry. So it is what is at the beginning of every new attraction. It's the wanting of something that you may or may not have yet, right? It's the feeling of being magnetically pulled toward someone. It's the pull that you have when you want to talk for hours with someone that you really like. You want to know everything about them, right? You want to be with them day and night. Even the slightest touch, even if they just kind of accidentally touch your hand, it just fills you with this electric charge, right? Every moment together is filled with like heart pounding exhilaration. It's so fun. We call it floating on cloud 9, right? Because it's a bit of a high. So after that initial attraction phase, as you get to know each other better and you start to develop a deeper connection, then comes love, then comes acceptance, then comes empathy, right? And compassion and trust, right? And that's when the feelings of excitement are replaced with feelings of security, of predictability, and comfort, which is a good thing for a lasting relationship. But it can also lead to some challenges. So how is this relevant to you right now to encouraging them to want to come back? All right. So as your feelings of love for each other grew, the feelings of desire most likely became suppressed as a couple, and you probably became a little less spontaneous, a little less playful, a little less affectionate. And more often than not, we just get kind of into a routine or a rut. We get kind of just stuck going through the motions, right? Because what happens is that the pressures of careers, of having children now, maybe of finances, maybe of health challenges, I've been there, right? And even of getting older and having age, add a feeling of heaviness to you and to your spouse. And you may not even feel as though you've just kind of lost that spark. And no matter how much love there is, when desire dies, so does a big part of the relationship. So your relationship as you knew it is over now, right? And that's actually the good news. You're like, Heather, what are you talking about? Why is that good news? Okay. So I'm saying, yes, it's actually good news that your relationship as you knew it is actually over. So let's mourn that it's over, but let's celebrate that it's over, because now it can be reborn in a brand new, beautiful, and healthy and happier way than it actually ever was before. So right now, by the virtue of the fact that they're pulling away, maybe you're separated right now. I know some of you talked about being separated for over a year. Maybe they're saying, I want out. Because you are in that situation right now, you are actually uniquely poised to reignite the desire in them as strong as it was when you were first attracted to each other, if not more so. So after all, desire is sparked by wanting what they don't have. It's just a matter of flipping that emotional switch in them. And you know how to flip that desire switch more than any other man or woman in the world. Why? Because you have done it before. And guess what, my friends? That means you can do it again. Yes, you have a huge advantage over any other man or woman out there, because you know you were attractive to them and you know you are great together. You simply lost the spark. You let unhealthy patterns and issues get in the way. And that's why they're saying they need, quote unquote, space, or they started to pull back and they want out. And someone nailed it in the chat. Here you said, Andre said, that explains the expression, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. And that is exactly correct. That is what they really mean when they're saying, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. It means they've lost their desire for you. And this is, again, why desire is actually more powerful than love. Okay. Love is the binding, the healing. But if you do not have the desire, then you don't take any action. So let me know in the chat, raise your hand. Has your spouse said those words? I love you, but I'm not in love with you. Yep. A message this morning. I have. See some hands being raised. Okay. Awesome. Yep. So you're not alone. Yes. Nicole, Andre. Yep. Yes. So if your spouse is saying that, how many have you been told, I need quote unquote space? I need some space here. Okay. So John, if they didn't say that, I don't love you anymore at all. Like she said, I don't love you anymore. It's probably talking about the same kind of thing. And we focus a lot about the narrative here at High Thrive Coaching, right? And uncovering the reasons why they say they want out. And what really is at the root of all of that is that they have lost that spark and that desire there because it's been suppressed. It's had some toxicity thrown on it. They've felt rejected in some way, or you felt rejected in some way. And so we go into any of those unhealthy, unhappy cycles and patterns that pull our spouse and us further and further apart. Yeah. All right. That is a great question there. I'm not sure what your name is, but we'll definitely come back to that. She asks, or he asks, if husband is dating someone, how can you show your desire? Yeah. And it's actually not about showing your desire, because I imagine, my friends, that you've been showing a lot of desire, too much desire in the ways that come from instinct mode, right? You've been going into the begging, into the pleading, into the manipulating, in the desperation, right? Into the freezing or the withdrawing, and you're reacting out of the instinct of fear and trauma. And so what we want to do is actually flip the switch so that they are the ones that have the desire. If you keep pushing your desire onto them, what's going to happen? You guys know this. You've listened to me for long enough, right? It's going to push them further away. Exactly. Awesome. Okay. So that is, again, why desire is more powerful than love. You can get that back, and it's actually easier than you might realize when you do it the right way. Instead of letting your fear, remember the manipulating, the pleading, the desperation, repel their desire for you even more. All right. You've already had an amazing connection and chemistry together. So if you reignite that spark, they will absolutely want to commit to you and to you alone, even if there's been hurts, broken promises, and serious issues. Those issues will be resolved in time. Promise you. This is the first step to get them to want you and to want to work on the marriage with you, and for them to see the possibility of being happy with you. All right. So the biggest mistake you can make right now is what I see most people doing, and raise your hand if you've done this, I've done it myself, is trying to resolve those deeper issues when you don't have their desire. It's like trying to drag a camel to water. We've all heard that, right? If you try to drag a camel to water, you can kick it, you can scream at it, you can bribe it, you can try to manipulate it. Here we go to your spouse, right? You can try to remind them of their vows. You can demand that they work on things. You can demand that they end the affair. You can demand that they go to therapy. You could do the positive approach and remind them of all your happy times together, and remind them of your wedding vows and your wedding day and your anniversary and all your kids and everything. And you can try to convince them all you want. But if the camel isn't thirsty, it's not going to drink. Right? So if your spouse isn't thirsty, if they don't have the desire right now, they're not going to want to take steps towards you. So let me know in the chat, what have you already done to try and solve this issue? Have you done therapy? Have you gone to counseling? Did you do the self-help books? Have you been trying to work on yourself? You guys have heard me say this, right? Everyone out there's like, I need to work on myself to save the marriage. Yeah. It's going to backfire. I do this all the time. So what have you guys done? Tried marriage counseling? I know I did the love dare like 3 times, and I just tried to service my husband to death, and it totally didn't work at all. It was absolutely ineffective. And I tried the love languages and found that was very surface level. It didn't go deep enough to heal some of the damage that had been done here, right? Tried marriage counseling. It didn't work. My spouse still wants a divorce, right? And so why do you think those things didn't work? Why do you think everything that you've done up until now hasn't worked for you? All of those above: individual therapy, coach, read books, followed a group coaching for 10 months. Yeah, working on myself, tried a marriage program, tried to do everything for her. And I see this, and I see how much you guys care about your marriage and how much this person means to you. And I see that you are exhausting yourselves trying to do everything that you can, only to see your spouse pulling further away, right? Because what is out there is absolutely ineffective and often backfires. So what happens here right now, my friends, is that if you and your spouse, if you are not blissfully in love right now, it means you've missed something along the way. It means you are on the path that 92% of couples are on, because only 8% of couples actually report being happy in their marriage. And so you've been following the main crowd, and the main crowd has honestly got it all wrong. And that is why there is so much unhappiness, so much stress, so much depression, so much unhappiness, so many societal issues, because the root of society is what? The family, right? What the 8% are doing are very different, but it's no harder. In fact, it's a lot easier what the 92% are doing. It's just different. So let's start to learn what the 8% are doing. Okay. And if your spouse has not hit what we call the pause button yet, it means you've missed something along the way. If they're still pulling further away, if they're moving closer to another person or closer to divorce, and they are actively creating more time, more distance, more space, less connection between you, then they have not hit the pause button yet. And so right now, it means that you need to help them get that pause button hit, and you've missed something along the way. The good news is that you can learn what that is. And what you're missing right now is their desire. Their desire will make all the rest unfold exactly as it's meant to. So now you know that it's really not your fault that you've been emotionally impulsive, you've been insecure. So your spouse, not your spouse, oh my goodness, I'm getting tongue-tied again. So your spouse pulled away. It's your body's natural response to trauma. It's just doing its job, right? And we can let it do its job, but we don't have to be defined or stuck in that emotional response to trauma. You know then that you really cannot rely on your own instincts to get them back, because what happens is we accidentally push them further away, and you will most likely lose them for good. But you also know that right now there is an emotion even stronger than love that's going to draw your spouse to you like a magnet, which is desire. So all you have to do is flip that emotional switch to trigger desire in them, and they are yours for life. How do you do that? Yes, exactly. How do we do that? So Brandon, you haven't hit the pause button. We need to get you there fast. So how do we trigger their desire? So we've spent thousands of hours, actually hundreds of thousands of hours now with couples, and we've distilled our most powerful methods, the thing that we have seen work time and time again, into a simple 4-step process that we call attraction CPR. And that will flip that switch deep inside of them and trigger the most unstoppable desire and have them begging to be with you again. Sound different from where you're at? Good, it should. So you'll be excited to know that after all of these years of research and helping tens of thousands of couples now, we've created what is a completely done for you plan. And it takes all the guesswork out of it so that they will come running back to you. So what I want you to do is get this plan and do exactly what Marc and I are going to tell you to do, and know that it's going to work. Okay. So I had so much fun putting this together this last week, creating the modules, creating the content. And here is just some of what we're going to share with you and what you are going to learn. Okay. First, you're going to get an easy to follow plan that's going to help increase communication. I know a lot of you are saying we don't communicate well. We don't communicate hardly at all. We only communicate about the kids or the surface stuff or the divorce, right? Even if you're only talking over text right now, so that you have the opportunity to rekindle the spark. So we will give you our copy and paste scripts for text and in-person conversation starters. And of course, you customize these to yourself, but you can use them right away. And that will get them realizing they made a huge mistake and that they need you back more than they need to breathe. Okay. That is what this does. And you will learn how to have your spouse wanting to sell themselves on having a long-term relationship with you instead of you begging and trying to pleading with them and trying to convince them or sway them to come to you, right? We're going to flip that switch. And you're simply going to do that by not giving them anything to rebel against. And you'll be kicking yourself for not having done this sooner. In fact, as I was creating this, I was like, let's put this together in like a day plan. So there's a 21-day and a 40-day plan that I'm going to give you guys on exactly what to do so that they do not have any reason to rebel against you. And they are selling themselves on wanting to be with you and wanting to work things out. And they hit that pause button. So they no longer pull away anymore and they start to take some steps towards you. I break it down into an actual day plan, 21 days and 40 days to get you there. Okay. We'll show you how to transform yourself into a high value mindset so you can avoid the innocent seeming mistakes that push them away or into the arms of someone else. You'll discover how to make a change that will make you deliriously happy. I promise you, you will be deliriously happy when you make this change. And it will help them to realize that they actually want to make you a top priority. Big one here, how to wipe the slate clean. Who here would love to just wipe the slate clean? Completely changing their perception about you, their story or narrative about you, no matter how long their beliefs were about you or how many mistakes you made, how many mistakes they made. So you can both move on from the past and see each other with fresh eyes. My friends, I do this every single day. Marc and I do this every single day. Our coaches here are incredible. And I have seen this happen. I have seen, and there's some of you that are here that have been through this process, and you can attest to exactly what I'm talking about. When you truly know that you are with this person, not just in the way that you were married before. So many of you are trying to fight to get back to where you are. That relationship's gone. Okay. You can mourn it. You can be sad about it for 24 hours. And then I want you to move on, and we're going to create an entirely new relationship. We're going to take the good parts of the old relationship and build an even healthier, more functional, deliriously happy relationship. And like I just helped our clients get their wedding rings back on this week. I just helped another woman back move home with her husband. She said, I don't love you. And if I don't love you, I don't want to be with you. I'd rather be alone than to be with you. And now they're moving back home together, building their own home together. And they are so happy, and their children are so happy. So I've seen this with my own eyes, and you can look at each other with fresh eyes, a brand new, fresh start to your marriage. Stephanie says, I don't want to go back. I want a new, improved version. I love that. Yes, exactly. That is what we're talking about. I don't want to go back. I want a new, improved. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. And so that is what we're going to help you with. And this is an insanely important one. Okay. To flip the script and have them feel like they are actually the one that is winning you back. This is not done with a manipulation, but there is a psychological element to this, okay? And not the other way around, where you're the one trying to win them back, okay? It is actually ridiculously easy. It's almost unfair. I'm going to share with you what it is. Again, please only do this if you know that this person is right for you, and never do it to harm or coerce or manipulate anyone else. I'm going to add a wording here. You cannot afford to get this wrong. And that is why we'll coach you on exactly how to do it. I'll show you how to gently guide them past their fears, past old blocks about you and the marriage. So their desire is to be with you and have a happy marriage. And it causes those old worries to completely melt away so that they're no longer there at all. The best part is, my friends, the techniques we teach you and show you how to keep the spark alive forever. So you two can spend the rest of your lives together deliriously in happiness and in love. Okay. So think about that for a minute. Imagine how amazing you will feel to know exactly what to do, to have them come running after you, to have them begging to be with you. And imagine what a relief it will be to have a step-by-step plan that takes all the guesswork out of it and gets rid of all those ineffective things that haven't been doing up until this point, right? That haven't been working. And all the mistakes you'll suffer if you keep trying to do it alone or keep trying to do it in a way that simply doesn't work. all of the tears that you've been shedding, the crying, maybe over analyzing things, going over conversations in your mind, ruminating, worrying, stressing, beating yourself up, losing the sleep, right? Begging them and then crying even more when it doesn't work, right? Imagine replacing that with just the sweet and easy feeling of peace, knowing that you have now rekindled that romance between you, and you get to spend the rest of your lives together in a state of security, ease, and passion, just you and them, together forever. So what is that worth to you? Let me know in the chat, what is that worth to you? On a scale of 1 to 100, how important is having a healthy and happy marriage to you? Oftentimes on these chats, I'll hear, 100, 90, a million, right? And to me, it's worth everything. To me, money and possessions, they come and go. You can't take it with you. But these relationships are eternal. To me, they are priceless. Yeah, Brian says priceless. 100 million, that's the biggest number I've ever seen. I love that, 100, awesome. And so how important is this relationship to you? How much is it worth to you? On a scale of 1 to 100, how important is having that to you in your life? So in just a moment, I'm going to tell you how you can access those 4 steps in our attraction CPR plan and how to get them running back to you in this brand new program and method that we've never shared before because I just created it with Marc recently. So before we do that, I want to ask you a question. Would you really give anything to end the pain that you're in, the overwhelm, the feeling like you're taking 1 step forward, 200 steps back, like you guys shared with me in the chat earlier, right? And to be back with your love again, and to have them want to be with you and to flip that switch. You're not chasing after them anymore. That story is done. That's an old story. It's time to change the story, right? Of course you would. How many times a day do they come across your mind? How many times, are they coming across your mind, distracting you from your work, maybe from your kids, maybe they're upsetting you and making you unable to go on with your day, unable to focus on other relationships with your friends and your family. They're just kind of invading your thoughts, right? Getting up in the middle of the night. Yeah, all day. I hear you. So I challenge you right now not to think about their face. Don't think about their face. Don't think about their smile. Don't think about the little lines around their eyes when they're in the sun and they're smiling at you. Don't think about their embrace and how good it feels to put your head on their chest and hear their heartbeat. Don't think about that. I know you can't even do that, right? I know because I've been there. They're always on the edge of your mind and they're engraven into your heart, into your soul, into your very being. All right. Just think about all the damage the situation with your spouse right now has done in your life, your career, your kids, your relationships, your money, your health. There's an even greater cost here, which is your peace of mind, your happiness, and your lost time. Well, it looks like we may have lost our Matt here, our artist that was doing such an amazing job for us.
I'm coming right back. Sorry, a little technical glitch. So thank you.
All right, no worries. You're good. It's amazing. We love what you're doing over there. Super, super fun to see. So right now, you guys, this is a heavy cost. It is a heavy cost to live any longer in pain and in suffering, especially when you know that you've just been following the 92% of people and you don't have to do that anymore. You can get on the boat with us and be in that top 8%. And our mission, my heart's desire and passion is to build that as our new reality, our new society. More and more people are getting into that place and on that boat with us. And so every minute you waste now doing some of these wrong things are really robbing you of the happiness and the peace, the prosperity and the joy that you could be having, that our clients are having right now. And so my friends, you can't afford for this to go on any longer. You cannot afford to try and do it alone and keep getting it wrong, right? So we asked our clients who have followed this plan, like the ones I talked about, the ones that put on their wedding rings this week, the one that she came back home after being separated and now they're building their own home. And she says, I am so grateful I'm with you. Thank you for not giving up on me. And she is truly chasing after him now. And it's so fun to see, right? We asked them how much they valued this one method that we're talking about at the very beginning of the restoration process to trigger their desire mechanism and have them running back to you. And they all easily agreed it was worth a lot. Some of them said 2,000, some said 10,000. In fact, almost every single person said it was priceless, because it was the first step that they had to have happen for their marriage to be where it is now, where they are blissfully in love. And some of them said, it saved me like $50,000 in a divorce I didn't want to have. And it feels so much better that I don't have to pay to live in 2 homes, and on and on and on. Just financially alone is amazing, right? Let alone to be with the love of your life. Like we've got Kelly, who said, I just barely got started with the program. And last night, my husband, who had been involved with another woman for almost 2 years, I was unaware, but knew something was horribly wrong, asked me to renew our wedding vows. Says we can just have a pastor that is at our church we were married in, do it as soon as he was willing if I don't want to wait. I'm on cloud 9. So who's chasing who here? Right? Are you guys getting this? It's Kelly chasing after her husband and saying, please renew our wedding vows. Please come back to me. Right? She recognized that what she'd been doing before didn't work. And now her husband is the one chasing after her. And now he's saying, I want to renew our wedding vows, and we can do it as soon as you want. If you don't want to wait, who's chasing who? Who's trying to convince who to come back? And she's on cloud 9, and she's happy, and she's receiving it. And all the pieces are falling into place exactly as they're meant to be. And then there's Scott, right? He says, there are so many parts to my story. It's amazing how the path related to me and how I could implement every step as an opportunity to try anything, even though it didn't seem like there were specifically any other members with exactly the same problems, right? Because your situation is a unique situation for yourself, right? I'm doing what Marc Johnston spoke about language-wise, and Heather Choate's mindset suggestions are amazing. Now I'm finally seeing improvements that feel like they are permanent, and they are. He's gotten there. You guys can go listen to his interview if you want, Scott Murray on our podcast, okay? Nicole Ward, huge win. I came home from a trip to the beach to find my husband had moved everything back into our house. Everything, she says. At first, I thought it was just his winter clothes, but then I went into the spare room to see boxes of his stuff he had taken. I am so excited. This tells me he's looking at us being okay and staying. My heart is full. And then we've got Dawn, right? There was a short period of time, even though it felt like forever, where I never thought I would get this look on his face again. And there's a picture of them gazing into each other's eyes and smiling, which is absolutely beautiful, right? And I'm extremely happy to say that it was all made possible by this program and guidance from 2 amazing people, Heather and Marc. I'd like to state some wins. We've learned from each other where things went south, which is exactly what we needed to know and learn from each other. We're making future plans again, okay? And I now know that working on myself isn't what's going to help me get there. The one thing was, even though I knew I was doing what was necessary for my family, I neglected my husband. By no means am I justifying. I'm just simply stating that I grew in understanding, which I learned here where he was coming from. And then they talk about some of the goals that they actually have together and how her husband is taking steps towards her, right? So after I looked at all this, I just had this nagging feeling, right? Like $2,000 is not the right price to offer it at. So I know the heartache that you're in right now. I know the pain. I know the stress. I've looked into your tear-filled eyes of countless people just like you who want more than anything for their love and their relationship to be rekindled and restored. So I want to get this into the hands of as many people as possibly can so they experience the same joy. So I convinced Marc and my team to give it to you for a ridiculously low price of just $197. I'm going to go ahead and put the link here so you guys can go ahead and check it out when you are ready. And some of you are putting your name and number over there for a free marriage consultation, and we will definitely reach out to you for that as well. So thank you. So this is less than the price of your therapy copays, right? It's less than the price of your cell phone bill, right? And none of those things have gotten you or your love there yet. And so you can have your spouse running after you, wanting you, excited and eager to be with you, even better than your early dating years. Why? Because you have a depth and a well of understanding and knowledge and wisdom now, and you're on the boat with the 8%. You're leaving the 92% behind. You're saying that was the old me, that was the old life. I'm ready to do some new things and some new ways, right? So in this course, we'll teach you how to become irresistible to your spouse. And that is the first step. We know that getting their desire ramped up is just the beginning. So in addition to the entire CPR course, I'm going to include 3 bonuses that are going to help you with the rest of the process. Okay. So bonus 1 is our proven path process to restore your relationship for good. And this program is worth over $1,200 alone. In the path process, you will learn our scientifically proven method to end the divorce process fast and get them to want to be with you. We'll show you the 3 crucial steps to setting healthy boundaries, especially if trust is broken, if there have been affairs, if they're actively in an affair, right? So you can communicate with respect and love while protecting yourself. Trust restoration will boost mutual trust so you both can feel safe and close to each other again and heal any of those lingering issues. We'll show you how to cut to the core of problems so you can talk through things without fighting all the time or without any of that awkwardness or the tension that might be there right now. And of course, how to uncover their narrative so they start to see the good in you again, and they actually want to spend time with you. And our emotional painkiller designed to help you and your spouse let go of the past pains and hit reset on your relationship. That's bonus 1. Okay. Bonus 2 is a rocket reconnection training, and that is worth over $588 in and of itself. I love this one because what we've done is we've distilled over 100,000 hours of training and videos into 3 30-minute power pack videos that give you the best and fastest methods to reconnect with your spouse. And what I love about this is that you can actually go and target your specific issue that you're having with your spouse, such as how to end an affair in 3 weeks or less, how to open up any conversation, how to forgive and heal past pain. And, maybe there's addictions, maybe there's alcoholism, narcissism, midlife crisis, mental health challenges, maybe there's depression or anxiety, and there is a training exactly for you for that. So just click that link to that video and you'll have the answer you need. You don't have to sift through hours of training videos, right? You just get the solution that you need easily and immediately. And you'll get our resistance busting toolbox. If your spouse has a lot of resistance to you now, this is going to be vital for you. Okay. So this is where 90% of people get it wrong and is a big opportunity for you to get it right. Third bonus is our Rekindle romance generator, and that is worth $250. So in this final training course, we'll show you how to overcome the I love you, but I'm not in love with you saying for good. So you can have passion and romance in the marriage again, even if they think it's dead. We'll reveal the intimacy connection shortcut to increase trust overnight, even if you've hurt each other in the past. And you'll learn 4 forgiveness pillars to forgive yourself and your spouse for good. And we'll cover the final steps you need to bridge the gap between yourselves and fully restore your marriage. Okay. So altogether, the total value is over $2,000, right? And our clients agreed it was worth $2,000 in and of itself just for CPR. But the first 100 people who join are going to get a special launch price because this is a brand new program in addition to those bonuses for only $197. So after the 100 spots are filled, we are going to raise the prices. So make sure you do not miss out. I think it's a no-brainer opportunity, right? So you can just go ahead and click the link here right over in the chat. Oh, that's not the link. That was the job form. Let me get you guys the link. And you guys can join right away and don't miss out on getting in those top 100 spots of the first people that get the special deal, okay? Now, my friends, there are 2 types of people in the world, okay? There are people who graciously accept when help is offered. They accept help when it's offered. And then there are people who are so proud that they think they can solve their problems on their own. So maybe you're the first type of person, right? You've been watching this and you already feel like just a tsunami of relief washing over you, that finally there's an answer to your pain and the suffering, and you realize you do not have to continue in the struggle anymore. You have us in your corner. You can get on the boat and be part of the top 8% of couples. Or maybe you're the second type of person. Maybe you got your hands crossed and you're too proud to get help. And you've been feeling skeptical. Maybe you've been thinking, how could someone that doesn't know me or my situation possibly help me get my spouse back? I obviously know better. If that's you, I want to ask you a tough question. Has your way worked out for you? My guess is that it's not working out for you at all, which is why you're here today. There is nothing weak about accepting proven help to get the most important part of your life handled. In fact, you're going to feel stronger than you ever have. You're going to feel centered. You're going to feel like a rock in a storm. And no matter what happens, you know that you're going to be okay no matter what. Once you start using this 4-step plan, I promise you that is my life's work and my life's mission. And I'm going to get it into the hands of as many people as I can, because I want to see you get there. You do not have to live your life in suffering and pain anymore. There is another way, and I cannot wait to help you get there. Now, I hate to bring this up though. The truth is, if you want your love back, you cannot afford to let another day go by. Every day that you wait, you risk letting them pull further away, further towards divorce, maybe further towards another person. So imagine the pain that you will feel if you are signing divorce papers, if you're seeing your kids' devastation and insecurity as they grow up in a split home, and the regret that you will feel if you know you had the chance to do something about it and you didn't do it. That choice is yours. But to me, I could not afford to live with that kind of pain the rest of my life. This is far too important. The rest of your life, your love, and joy are yours as soon as you just click this link and get started winning your spouse's heart back. So all you have to do is join and start the program. If you're wanting one-on-one coaching to help you, help us guide you, take you hand in hand through the entire process, then again, leave your phone number over in the chat. Yay, I've got Brandon just joined. Awesome, congratulations. Yeah, leave your number over in the chat and we will reach out with you. Leave your phone number and the country code because we have an international audience. We make sure that we don't want to miss you if you're over in the UK or something. And we will reach out to you directly after the masterclass for a free marriage consultation and to see if coaching is a good fit for you. Now, some of you may know this, but coaching is a multiple $1,000 investment. I'm full transparency here, right? Our full program is $4,200 for 4 months. I'm not going to go deep into that. It is the best and fastest way to get results. And those that join our one-on-one coaching, they get the entire Thriving Marriage Now system, including the CPR course for free. Okay. So leave your number in the chat and we'll call you in the next couple days to discuss one-on-one coaching for you. But I also know that finances can be really tough. And if a multiple $1,000 investment just isn't right for you right now, then be sure to join the course before the special introductory price is gone. All right, my friends, we covered a lot today. And I know you're feeling confident now. I know that you can win their heart back. I know that you can see the possibility because you've done it before. You've learned that if you follow your own biological instincts, you will make critical mistakes that will push your spouse further away. And you also know that there's one emotion even stronger than love that can send your spouse running back to you. And that is their desire for you. You know that once you flip their emotional switch to reactivate their desire for you, they're going to become desperate to get you back. Roles reversed. You saw my clients, you heard it from their own words. Their spouse is now coming after them, trying to convince them, asking them to renew their marriage vows, asking them to put their wedding rings back on, asking them to go on honeymoons, and they're in the honeymoon phase again, right? As you understand that our 4-step plan will hand you the exact steps to follow, you will get them back, and you will get them back forever. And then, since we agree on this, don't you think you deserve to end that suffering to get back on the path with the man or the woman that you love? Good. Awesome. Congratulations. I am so excited. Jacob joined, Brandon, Gregory. Congratulations. That is going to be amazing. Miller, congratulations. So excited to have you guys join this program. So just click the link right now. And for the first time since you started your relationship, I want you to take a deep breath. And I want you to smile, knowing that your best days with them are just around the corner. You'll be back in their arms and their heart very soon. All right. Still have questions? No problem. Let me know what they are. I'm going to share with you some answers to the most common questions that we get. When will you get access to the program? When will I get access to my program, right? Some of you just joined. You might be wondering, when will I get access? You'll get it right away. Just click the link and you'll get instant access to the Attraction CPR private members only online portal. And you can start your coaching here in just a little bit. All right. Is my order secure on this page, right? Your order is absolutely secure. I've carefully selected leading secure online order processing that uses 128-bit encrypted SSL technology. My husband had to help me with that one because it's a lot of technology jargon to protect all of your payment information. All you have to do is click the link and you'll be taken through to the secure order form. Okay. Now, how fast will I get results? That's a big one. And it's up to you. If you choose to follow the process and the advice right away, you will start to see results right away. We've made this as easy as possible, so you don't have to freak out that this is going to be a really difficult process. I even broke it down into the 21-day plan and the 40-day plan to get you guys started strong, okay? If you follow the process works. It's proven. I can even say it's scientifically proven because we've seen it happen with so many people, whereas nothing before worked for them, okay? But what if you're still wondering, Heather, what if this doesn't work for me? So listen, this has worked for so many people just like you, right? There's no doubt in my mind that if you are a good, honest person and you want this person back for the right reasons, then this will work for you. If you come at it for the wrong reasons, again, it's not going to end well. So make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. What I want for you is for you to be back in your love's arms as quickly as possible. And that's why we offer exclusive one-on-one coaching in addition to this amazing program. So if you want one-on-one help from us, then we will give you the opportunity to, again, hold you by the hand and get you there on the fast track. All you have to do right now, my friends, is say yes to yourself, yes to your marriage, and yes, above all, to the happiness that you deserve. So thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you, Matt, for the amazing illustrations. This has been so much fun. If you guys want a copy of this screen, we will definitely send it to you. So go ahead and leave a comment, say, yes, I would love a copy of this, and we will email it to you right after the masterclass with the replay. I think it's absolutely amazing, gorgeous work of art here. So thank you, Matt. You did fabulous. Brandon says, yes, please, you got it. And thank you, Curtis, for helping us. Coach Curtis here, and I will be reaching out to you in the next coming days to talk to you about your marriage. And congratulations to everyone who joined. I'm going to leave the link one more time in the chat. So if you haven't had a chance to go over there, this is your last chance to go ahead and get in. I am confident that spots are going to be sold within the next several hours. And so if you want in on those 100 spots that we're opening up for, then go ahead and join right away. Thanks so much for joining me today. I am excited for what's coming to you. I am excited to see your marriage thrive. I'm excited to see your life transform and for you to get to a place of peace and empowerment. Challenges are always going to come. I guarantee that they're going to come. It's what we choose to do about them. It's how we choose to learn and grow through them. It's who we choose to become. And there is an entirely different reality that is being created. You may not see it yet. It may be just a dream that I painted for you, but it is a reality that people I talk to every day are living. And you can step into a different reality. You can step into your role as a creator in your life and create the relationship, the happiness, the peace, and the joy that you deserve. And I know it's there for you. And I cannot wait to see you guys inside the program. Thank you all so much for coming today, and we will talk to you again very soon.